Did y'all see the video of the shootout that they had at their cookout in Philadelphia? Every single tool that those men had a switch on it.
This is when you see the size of this block. I mean, just individuals just shooting randomly into houses, into cars, children out here. I mean, this is coward, wannabe thug stuff.
There are certain cities in America that are the home of the Black conscious and thought movement. You can look at New York City in sections like Harlem. You can look at places like Oakland, Los Angeles with Lamar Park. But in my honest opinion, one of the cities that has the crown is Black Philadelphia. If you guys didn't know, the AME Church was started by Richard Allen in Black Philadelphia. Philadelphia is also one of the home of many scholars like Umar Johnson, with the largest Black Muslim community, I believe, in the nation. So when you talk about being pro-Black, you gotta mention a city like Philadelphia. But as much Black pride as Philadelphia has, unfortunately, Black Philadelphia is getting worse. Just a few years ago, Philadelphia had over 500 murders. And as we know, with shaky leadership, Philadelphia has been looked at as a joke. The current mayor, Sherelle Parker, had the city literally filled with trash until she negotiated with the union to go ahead and stop the strike. But just on Monday, something terrible just happened.
There was a mass shooting in Philadelphia during the cookout, and the whole situation is so tragic. There was innocent bystanders. There was a whole bunch of people piled up on top of each other on the porch, and they show ring camera footage, and you can see the people in the camera shooting at their oppositions while people lay on top of each other and try to take cover.
A South Philadelphia neighborhood by the name of Grays Ferry had a very sad shooting that was caught on ring cam, and many of you have probably seen it already, and unfortunately we can't play it on YouTube. But the young lady was right. It was people literally piled on top of each other. 3 people passed away, but one passed away that was already in the wheelchair.
The father of 24-year-old Azir Harris had a heartbroken plea to the city of Philadelphia today to put the guns down. He says Azir was a father to a 1-year-old little boy and a paraplegic because he survived a drive-by shooting when he was only 17 years old. This family has been through so much, and they are devastated.
I carried him at his time when he was down, and now I can't be there to pick him up no more, and it hurts. Really do. It hurts me bad.
Troy Harris says he keeps a close watch on his son, the youngest of 6, 24-year-old Azir Harris, who has been wheelchair-bound since he was 17 years old following his injuries in a drive-by shooting in South Philadelphia. When Azir's friends got him out of the house last night, he says he didn't question it.
Well, I figured they'd either go to the store, get some juice or something like that. I never thought that he would be on the other side of town when that happened to him.
That young man was Azir Harris. He had already been paralyzed in 2018 and met his demise at the young age of 24. Unfortunately, he leaves behind a 1-year-old son. But what's happening in Philadelphia? Rewind! 2024, Philadelphia saw its lowest homicide rate in a decade. Philadelphia had 266 murders, which is still a lot, but for a city like that, that's a big improvement. Why did that murder rate drop? Well, it can be attributed to a lot of things. In one end, somebody could say that the district attorney, Larry Krasner, was working with a lot of anti-violence organizations from across the city to help prevent crime. They were helping people turn in their guns. They were helping people do other stuff. But one of the other reasons that Philadelphia had a drop in crime was because they increased fundings for the youth. And what happened here is a lot of the youth were busy working and going to programs that basically kept them busy and out of trouble. This was one of the things that we got to give Sherelle Parker at least some credit and the district attorney for funding these initiatives. You guys know Brother George Macon here on YouTube. He has a channel by the name of Street Media TV. And Brother George Macon actually got a check for the district attorney because he has a program called Urban Nerds. What Urban Nerds does, it takes children, Black children from the inner city, and takes them to college tours like Howard University or University of Penn or Penn State. Basically getting in their mind that, hey, listen, I can go to college or I can be somebody. So this is another opportunity, basically getting people who might participate in gangs to do other things that are productive. But what happens when budget cuts occur in a city like Philadelphia? Let me give you an example.
Since 2019, Unity Recovery has given thousands of people battling addiction and homelessness a sense of dignity, with offices in Philly, Pittsburgh, and Texas. People like Lil. She asked us not to show her face.
I was hurt. I cried like a baby when I came and they said they were closed.
Just a few months ago, this recovery organization faced crisis and budget cuts. And this older lady who was like 70 years old, she was battling addiction and homelessness. She was getting back on her feet, but she's been told that, hey, this program will no longer be available to you. So what will happen for a lady like her? She's probably going to relapse and go back to the streets. And so what is happening in Black Philadelphia? Because the funding is not really there in 2025 like it was last year. Black Philadelphia is seeing the murder rate go up and people starting to participate more in gangs. Now, don't get me wrong, I do believe that this shooting has probably nothing to do with that in the first place, because these people who are suspects are probably, been in the gangs for a long time. But for the murder rate to continue to go down, you are going to need young Black people who are going to be able to get jobs and able to go into the private or government or sector and to be able to see other opportunities. Without these other opportunities, we're going to continue to see what's happening in Grays Ferry. Now, also, what should happen to the criminals that shot these people? They're still out on the run. Remember, 3 of these people died that day and over 10 were wounded. And not only that, over 40 people were shot over the 4th of July weekend, with 6 being dead in Philadelphia. This is up there with Chicago type numbers. What should we do to the criminals in the Black community that just want to do whatever they want to do?
Yeah, snitch. Yeah, I said it. Snitch on all of them. Let me tell you something, man. If you in a gang and you walk up to a barbecue or a block party or go into a skating ring and you shoot 15 people trying to get one person, the Black community owes you no loyalty. I'm telling the Black community to tell on them. Stop protecting these people that's killing our communities, man. Your mama coming home from work, your children is coming home from school. They get hit by a stray bullet because these gangbangers, they anywhere, bang, anywhere killers. They don't want to respect nothing. They don't respect Miss Jenkins no more. They don't respect Mr. Clarence. They don't respect the children, the women, nothing. So now if the lines are blurred and there's no more rules, you don't want to respect nothing, then you owe them no loyalty. You owe them nothing. They don't care if you walking with your mama. They don't care if you got your children with you. It's not like it was in the days of old. It's anywhere, it's bang anywhere gang. So I'm telling the community, you gotta stop protecting them. Because anytime something go down in the community, y'all know who did it. But the reason why they're able to run wild, because you protect them. Last year, Philadelphia finished with over 550 homicides, 2,600 people shot. Chicago finished with well over 700. And the reason why they're able to flourish and do what they do, because the community protects them. And then you complain when it's your kid or somebody else gets shot. Let me tell you something. If you are indulging in criminal activity and it's illegal, we're not supposed to see it. It's supposed to be underground. Whatever you doing on the underground, I'm not supposed to know about it. If it's illegal, we shouldn't know.
Now, shout out to Brother George Mencken. He's making a great point. He's saying, listen, if these people want to just do whatever they want to do, we have the right to snitch on them. It's not like it was in the 80s and the 90s, where if you was beefing, somebody would just come get you and not just shoot randomly into a crowd or randomly into a house. And right now is bang anywhere gang. There's no rules to this. So if there's no rules to this, then we should tell on people, because innocent people are being hurt. I believe the brother that got killed that was a paraplegic, he probably had nothing to do with it, but he wasn't able to move or able to duck for cover. So he was shot. And they do have one person in critical condition, with 10 other people being shot outside of the 3 that passed away. And it is George's point that people should be snitched on. But to go beyond that, the issue is, in a city like Philadelphia, if you don't have these programs that assist young Black people in the community, they're going to go out and do this. And here's another issue that we got to talk about. Where is the Black support for these Black organizations like Urban Nerds or other Black nonprofits that want to do things in the community, but people don't support them? And again, here we are with another situation in which we complain about Essence Fest. We complain about what's going on. We sit back and expect that with our taxpayers' money, that fundings will occur in these communities. And the reality is that as Black people in America, if we don't fund our nonprofit organizations or incentivize people to do them, and we're apathetic with it, then our kids don't get the opportunities. When we don't have small local black businesses in black communities, or when we don't want to work with our community, the likelihood of these things happening is more. So our lack of involvement in the private sector eventually comes back in this form. So what happens is when we fail to invest in our own community, then the likelihood that somebody gets hit with a stray bullet, like your mom or grandma or whoever else, is high. And then once somebody's mom dies on accident, then they're in the beef now. Okay, so now people who were not in the beef come into the beef, and now it just gets worse. And that's what's happening in black cities all over the country, especially Philadelphia and Chicago. The lack of investment from our community into our own people results in things happening like this. Now, I'm not saying that it wouldn't happen all the time. Of course it would. But when we don't support the things that we want to see in the black community, the things that we don't want to see in the black community typically bite us in our ass. And then we get upset about it when it happens. And then we say, hey, we ought to snitch on them. And you're right, we should. But that won't keep the problem from repeating itself. That problem indeed continues to happen, and it will happen over and over and over again until we start to say as a community, we want to work together and get out there and actually solve the problem. Now, if you don't want to go out there and, let's say, for example, take kids to college or support local black organizations, that's fine. But you could give them something. We could support things that we don't want to be involved in, but maybe somebody else want to be involved in it. Could we give them $5? Could we give them $10? Could we give them $30? Could we do anything to help black organizations to invest to get kids off the streets that might come back one day and start a business in the black community? We might be turning somebody who might be a shooter to a person who might become a doctor. Just that investment and that encouragement, just seeing a college tour for one day, it could be something that sparks a change in somebody's life. But if we don't do that, you're going to continue to see this. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of Celebrity Drunk. Please, for all that you do, subscribe, hit the bell. We're out.